We see you getting after your fitness goals. But what about those money goals? You can count on Credit Karma for a clear view of your finances and your progress, helping you see results so you can keep checking off those financial personal bests and find your way to money. Progress never felt so good. Download the Intuit Credit Karma app and start achieving your money goals today. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on.
Everybody, welcome back to When Reality Hits with Jax and Brittany. We are so happy you're tuning in with us again this week. I hope everybody's had a wonderful week and an amazing weekend to come.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Hope everybody's having a great day. Let's get into it. We have a lot to talk about again.
Yes, we
especially with our favorite show, Love Island.
Yeah, right now, obviously, we have been recapping a little bit last week of Love Island. So now the finale is out. We know who has won, but before we get there, I got to tell y'all a little story because, as you know, we are so into Love Island. We have always loved Hannah and Marco. We thought that they should win no matter what. Well, I was using the restroom earlier. Jax runs into the restroom where I'm trying to be by myself for a second. He runs in there and is like, hey, I'm starting to follow Marco because I love Marco. And I was like, okay, awesome, whatever. Well, then he runs back in and is like, oh no, I just started following Marco, so I saw who won. We had not watched it. We were like watching it a couple of days late. We just got to watch it today. So he comes in there and basically ruins the ending for me and then goes, oh, well, Hannah and Marco didn't win anyway. So then I'm over here thinking Hannah and Marco didn't win and he ruined the ending for me. And I was so annoyed.
I know. I'm sorry.
You can't do that when you're watching a show with your partner. So Jax already knew by this point that Hannah and Marco won. Woo woo! Congrats, Hannah and Marco. We were rooting for them anyway.
We wanted them to win.
But Jax comes in there, so he's now that he started following Marco, he already saw the ending, and nothing drives me more crazy than whenever somebody already knows the ending or something about a movie or a reality show or something you're watching, and then you have to watch it with them. Well, then he tried to cover his steps and say that Hannah and Marco didn't win. So then I was pissed off.
She was so mad. I was like, oh my gosh. Well, I made the mistake. I've been so good about this. I've been not looking at the Instagram, the Love Island Instagram. I've been really good. I haven't looked or seen anything like that or any secrets or whatever. And I made the mistake of looking up the cast on Instagram. And I wanted to follow Marco. I wanted to tell him I was a big fan.
I told you the finale was already announced, so you should have known better.
And I literally ruined it. Yeah, Cruz is excited too. I don't know. For some reason, I just wanted to look up the cast. I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't know what you were thinking either.
Coming out, and I wanted to be friends with Marco.
Oh my gosh. And then he comes in there and is like, oh, well, they didn't win anyway. So I was just so mad. I was like, oh, well, that's been Cassie and Leo, which I was rooting for them too secretively. Like I thought it was going to be Hannah and Marco or Cassie and Leo.
I called Marco and Hannah since the beginning.
We did. They showed true love since the start. Like I think they're actually going to make it outside. But Cassie was growing on me. Cassie and Leo, like I think Leo really, really likes Cassie, and he was actually showing it in the last couple episodes. So I was kind of rooting for them too. The only thing in the top four. So this is how it went. In case you guys didn't see it, fourth place was Carmen and Kenzo. Third place was Bergie and Taylor. Second place was Leo and Cassie. And first place was Hannah and Marco. I think all those were great, except for I think third place should have been Carmen and Kenzo, and fourth place should have been Bergie and Taylor.
Yeah,
I'm
still not buying the Bergie.
I like them as individuals. I think Taylor's great. I love Bergie. I think he's like America's little sweetheart right now, and I think if he was with somebody else, he probably would have won the whole thing. But I think that them as a couple doesn't really make sense. No. They didn't seem like that they actually really were into each other, but they're both beautiful, amazing people.
Oh, yeah, both great individuals. Yeah. Love them both, but like you said, definitely love them better as separate.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're so cute and they're great, but I think that they're definitely not going to keep dating in the outside world. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, Jax always loves to say that they get to like do these extravagant like dates and things, and like just kind of like The Bachelor
it's
too.
Like The Bachelor, it's the same thing. Like, of course they're going to have fun and be in love. You're in Fiji going to dates on a helicopter on your own island. Of course it's amazing. We'll see how long it lasts when you get outside, have to start paying rent, paying mortgage.
And they live so far away from each other. So like I wonder, like, are people going to move into together? Like, are they going to do long distance dating for a while? Like I wonder how it's going to go, because they all became boyfriend and girlfriend, and they all told each other they loved each other on the season finale. So
it seems like they're all going to, well, not all, but it seems like a couple of them want to move to LA. They're like, oh, we're going to move to LA. And B,
I mean, they're all so hot. They basically belong in LA,
right.
So I can see it.
Influencers.
Yeah. Hey,
let's be honest. It's the next
works.
biggest influencer.
Yeah, but like they're all beautiful people, and I like I said, I definitely thought it was going to be between Leo and Cassie and Hannah and Marco. Those were the two that I definitely thought it was going to be between. I'm so glad Hannah and Marco won. I'm sure everybody agrees. Like they definitely are in love, and of course they split the money. I just think it's so cute.
So they get $100,000 before taxes. So,
but you don't know that. Like maybe they'll get taxed. We don't know how their thing works.
That's how it works. I've been on a reality show. I've been on a couple of reality shows. I know how it's going. You get the money and then they tax you after.
Okay. That's all Jax thinks about is taxes and like taking money away. It's like, all right, chill. Let them just enjoy their fun for now.
You're on the show for, how long were they on the show for? Was it a month?
I don't know. I don't know how long it was exactly, but.
So basically they're taking home 40 each.
I hope that they make it work in the real world though, because you know, they could be such cute couples.
No, I think they will work. I think Marco and Hannah will for sure.
Speaking of them, like, all asking each other to be, like, their girlfriend and making things official, did you ever ask me to be your girlfriend? Like, did we ever have that conversation, or did we just, like...
I think we just assumed it. Like, have you thought about... Have I? Did I? Did I say
I mean, it's been 8 years ago, so I'm trying to remember. Like, I don't remember you ever just being like, are you my girlfriend now? Or did we have that talk? I don't know.
We did.
I do remember when you told me you loved me. It was like... I was in town in LA visiting before I had ever moved to LA or anything. I think we knew each other for like 2 weeks, and you said it.
Right.
So, do you remember saying that?
Saying it, yeah.
Where were we?
I can't remember where we were. I think we were at a restaurant.
What? No.
We were not at a restaurant on the pier in Santa Monica.
We were in your studio apartment with the bikes on the wall.
Oh, with the bikes. I mean, what's wrong? I had bikes on my wall. I was a single guy living in a studio apartment in LA.
I'm just telling it to the listeners because if they picture the studio apartment, immediately you picture the bikes on the wall that you probably never rode. Ever.
Which I did post a picture of that studio apartment of you and I a couple of weeks ago. Did you see that picture of you and I?
I looked like a little baby.
You were a little baby.
8 years ago. Goodness gracious. Made such a difference.
It's
we had no baby then. It seems like Cruz was always in our life. Like, it's insane. But I did love that, like I said, Hannah and Marco winning made a great thing. I love that Hannah and Bergie became like such close friends. I thought that was so cute.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we all just love Bergie.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I want the best for him. I want him to like go out and like, now he's going to be like this little hottie walking around Dairy Queen. You know, everybody's going to want Bergie. Am I right?
Everybody's going to get blizzards at
everybody's going to come for his milkshakes.
Bergie's blizzards.
Bergie's milkshakes. Bringing the girls to the yard.
I gotta say though, Kenzo bothers me. Something about him. He seems like a nice guy. He just seems a little controlling. Do you get that?
There
was vibes from that.
Yeah, there was definitely some like controlling vibes. I think it was whenever Carmen was dancing on the guys for like just like having fun or whatever, and he was being kind of weird about it. But then again, he also does like really cute things with her. I go back and forth on thinking maybe he just is a very, very respectful guy, and like he actually just thinks of like those old like Southern ways. Like he doesn't want to like his girl dance on anybody, but also he didn't dance on anybody. So that was the only reason I was like, okay, maybe he's not so crazy. Maybe he's just trying to be really respectful. And for the parents, they didn't even want to go into the hideaway because he said that he respects her father, and he was like, I'm on his good side right now, so I don't want that to change. You know
what? That was a good move on his part. I just felt like, I don't know, I just watching his manners.
There's definitely some times.
There's some little vibes where he's holding on to her like this, just really aggressively, and I just thought, what do you think, Cruzy?
Yeah. Cruz is running around.
Cruz is listening to our podcast, running around. So if you
doing
guys hear,
little jungle gyms on our backs right now.
I don't know. I'm sure he's a great guy. It's just, if we're dissecting it a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
Controlling vibes.
Of course. But
you can also tell, by the way, the ones that, obviously we watch this and we're dissecting because, being on reality, you can kind of, the things to look out for. But you can tell the ones that gained weight, lost weight, got a little puffy. Right? Do you see that?
I mean, I just think they're all hot and look amazing.
They're all amazing. But you guys remember, they're on this island, right? They're in this house. There's nothing to do. I'm sure they get endless amounts of food. Let me tell you, when I was on House of Villains, there's a lot of downtime. There's an extreme amount of downtime. And there is a gym. Like on Love Island, we had a gym too. I remember with Johnny and I would go out every day and just work out like 3 times a day. And like, there's just so much downtime.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do they do? They must be so boring.
And they're filmed 24/7. They even have like like cameras in the walls,
Yeah.
cameras on the showers,
So do
cameras
we.
when they sleep.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
That's how it was in House of Villains too. Cameras everywhere. There's like, you can't hide anywhere. And by the way, you got to remember too, these people are on a show for, I don't know, X amount of days. They don't get any phones, no technology, no TV. That would kill Brittany and I.
Oh gosh, probably missing their family so much. Like,
On House of
Jax
Villains-
cannot be away from me for like 2 hours. Okay, so whenever my mom was in town, I took Cruz and my mom to go to the Chocolate Emporium restaurant that is at City Walk for Universal Studios. It's like so close to our house. We live like eight minutes away from Universal Studios. So I take mom and Cruz so that Jackson has some alone time, since we have company in our house. It can be overwhelming at times. So we all go.
I actually asked for this too.
And me and mom and Cruz were all there. We're having dinner. We just sit down, and Jack starts calling me, asking me, "Hey, are you coming back yet?" I was like, "I just sat down. We haven't even ordered our food yet." And Jax was already wondering if I was coming home. So I cannot imagine you being gone for too long.
I know. It was driving me crazy on House of Villains. And let me tell you another thing too, by the way. So there is no technology, by the way. So they gave us our phones on the show between like 1 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the morning, and we can
Because a lot of you have kids and like businesses
and
that you have
plus-
to check in
yeah,
on.
so they allowed
They're
us-
different. They're in their 20s. They don't have kids yet. They are not married. They're actually just dating and
they
like
only allowed
figuring
us-
life out.
And they only allowed us to check our email. We couldn't like text or anything. So they,
Yeah.
they watched us what we were doing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which is good, so that you can't give, because like Lord knows Jax loves to gossip. I could see Jax like being on the side being like, "Hey Brittany, this person got kicked off this week," or like something. Like, I just know that you would want to tell me everything about it, which
I
is
know.
so funny.
And I still haven't told you anything about it.
No, I can't wait to watch it. I'm going to figure out things with the rest of you guys, so it'll be fun to recap those episodes as well.
By the way, sorry, just to cut you guys off, cut you off, I didn't mean to. October 19th, I am doing a viewing party in Boston at the Greatest Bar with Johnny Fairplay. October 19th, viewing party, House of Villains. Come and hang out with us. We're
Yes,
gonna have
that'll
a
be
lot of
so
fun. So if you're in the
fun.
Boston area, I would love to meet you. Come by, have a drink, and
Ooh, my cousin Jessica lives there. I'll have to have her come
yeah.
by and
Yeah,
come to
yeah,
the
yeah.
party and see you.
absolutely.
Find yourself looking for a new job or change in career? Monster.com is here to help. We are not only here to bring you job postings, but also AI interview prep and salary tools, expert career advice, and top-notch resume services. We've got everything you need to land your perfect job fit. Discover the magic of finding the ideal job with Monster.com. Your future starts now. Visit Monster.com today. Your next job opportunity is just a click away.
Going back to the Hannah and Marco really fast, and going back to Hannah and Bergie's relationship where they became best friends. I love whenever they're asking Bergie if he would be a groomsman or a bridesmaid, and Bergie was like, "Oh, f it, I'll be a bridesmaid." I love that so much. I don't like to cuss on here. I was just repeating his words, but I love that so much because it's just so cute. I love that they became good friends. I feel like Bergie is just so sweet.
He gives me Tom Schwartz vibes.
Yeah, he really does.
Does
He
he
really
give you-
does. And I had a bridesman. Zach was in my wedding as my like bridesmaid man, whatever you call him. So I don't know. I just thought that was super sweet. But all in all, we loved Love Island. We're so happy Hannah and Marco won, and we can't wait for another season.
I know,
now that
I'm
we're
already ready
hooked.
for the next season.
Yeah. And now everybody's coming up to us because we've talked about Love Island being like, you have to watch The Ultimatum on Netflix. So maybe that'll be our next thing.
That'll
We're
be our
going
next
to
show.
tune into that and see how that goes, because you never know. Like, ultimatum could be a good thing, or ultimatum could be a terrible thing and ruin your entire relationship. Remember whenever Katie gave Tom the ultimatum, and then he like gave her, was it like a ring on a necklace or something?
a ring on a string.
A ring on a string.
Yeah, it was a promise, like a promise.
Oh my gosh. Goodness
That's what
gracious.
every girl wants is a ring on a string at that age.
Especially they were together for like 10 years or something crazy already. Like, I'll give you a ring on the string. So I think that ultimatum show might be the next one that we discuss on the podcast if everybody's loving it like they're saying. Cruz is babbling in the back. And it's just so cute. We're just at home today recording our podcast. We've been so busy lately, so it's been hard to get into the studio. We love going to the studio, though, but it's been fun to be able to like do things at home and watch the shows and catch up on everything and get to like just have a little gossip sesh with
It's so
my
weird
husband.
too not having your mom here, because your mom's been here for a whole month. And
Oh, my gosh.
Mamaw was here too. She was helping with
Yeah.
my new bar. She was doing
Yep.
Mamaw's beer cheese. That's going to be coming back. She
Oh,
was
yeah.
here.
And that's something else I want to talk about, because this kind of went viral on social media and Reddit, which I freaking hate Reddit because the trolls live on Reddit. Let's go to Troll of the Week. It's all you Reddit haters.
Troll of the Week.
whenever I look at that page, because I very, very, very rarely look at Reddit unless I absolutely have to, because something crazy is going on or something is just, I don't know, just something's happening where people are like letting me know. But oh my God, it just makes me sad. It makes me sad for people who actually like have that much hate in their heart for people they've never even met in their life.
What did they say?
It just makes me, I don't know. It made me feel really bad for them. Yeah, they're trying to like hate on us and hate on everybody else, but like, goodness gracious, like they actually like dedicate their life to picking out every little thing on social media or like rumors or whatever, and then they like write about it like 24 hours a day. It's kind of weird, but hey, thanks for watching all of our stuff, and thanks for listening to our podcast, guys. Like, you know, at the end of the day, you're just helping us out. So thank you to our Reddit haters. Troll of the week is our Reddit haters. Hello, I see you. I don't like to look, but whenever I see you, I'm not gonna lie, I feel bad, and I'm praying for you, because to have that much hate in your heart and to not even know somebody and think that they can talk about our child or like our life and our family, it's just so odd to me. It kind of breaks my heart for them. It kind of breaks my heart.
It really does. I feel bad for those people. I mean, there's such an angry, like, disturbed human being who
Oh,
wants
man.
to steal somebody's...
Like, why? What is wrong with Instagram?
Recipe.
Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is something that I want to talk about because this went kind of viral. And so somebody apparently was trying to steal my Mamaw's beer cheese trademark. And it wasn't just like some random company who wanted to... And this is the only reason I even looked at... Reddit in the first place, because I never ever looked there. It's the worst. People are awful on there. But whenever I went and I had to look at it, it's because my friend Janet calls us and she's like, hey, somebody on Reddit is trying to say that they stole your Mamaw's beer cheese trademark. And I was like, hold on, hold up. So what had happened is we had Mamaw's beer cheese trademark for a long time. I was paying for it for years and years. Well, COVID hit, nothing was happening with Mamaw's beer cheese, so we let it expire. Well, as soon as we came out with the bar happening and that we were going to sell Mamaw's beer cheese again, I go and I get it back. I own Mamaw's beer cheese trademark, but somebody on Reddit was actually trying to steal Mamaw's beer cheese trademark and actually wrote on there, this little act of vengeance made me feel good this week. Because they tried to steal Mamaw's beer cheese trademark from us, which is so, God, it just makes me feel so bad for that person.
I know. Who is this lady?
Right?
I almost want to blast her, but I
don't even care that much about who it is. I just, honestly, I feel really bad for them that they thought that they should do that. And also, like, my Mamaw is 79 years old. Mamaw's beer cheese is hers. You know, I'm trying to make it bigger. She sells it in Kentucky and does all that. We're going to sell it at our restaurant, yes, but like, this is my grandmother's recipe. My grandmother's saying that she sells to her friends and family back home in Kentucky. We are bringing it to LA with the help of my grandmother, who is, again, 79. So somebody trying to come in and steal the trademark just is so... Gosh, I don't know. It's just disgusting. It's sad, and gosh, it just makes me. I'll say it again. It just makes me feel so bad for those people who actually think that they can do that and just have that much hate in their heart for people they've never even met in real life and only see like a little bit of our lives on social media and on Instagram. Like, I don't know. It's just so sad. But again, we did win it. We got it back. Nobody beat us to the trademark. So if they're trying to say that they own the trademark, they don't. Brittany Cartwright owns that forever and always. It's our family's recipe, and it is staying in our family forever.
Right. Ha. That is right. We won. Ha, ha, ha.
Ha, ha, ha.
Anyway, just to get back with the bar, guys, the bar is going well. I get a lot of questions on when's the bar going to open. I'm trying to get open within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, obviously. We're trying hard.
You know, there's obviously a lot of things that go into opening a bar, hiring, you know, we're remodeling the whole place. We're painting. The TVs just went up. We got 10 TVs. They all just went in. We're doing a beautiful mural. That's
the mural artist Daniel just started. He's doing an amazing job. It is looking amazing. We are going to start posting before and after soon, but we want a little bit more to be done because, you know, this means a lot to us, and we want it to look really good whenever you guys see it for the first time. But we are so happy with the progress.
Yeah, the food is going to be delicious. Mamaw was here. She was. We were testing out some new recipes. We got some amazing things coming. We're just so excited. A lot of comfort food, a lot of Southern food.
Yes.
But, you know, with the Southern twist.
Yeah, it's definitely a sports bar, but it's going to be like an elevated, like sexy, fun, very beautiful sports bar.
It's not,
outdoor area. It's going to be amazing. Things are going great. We're starting to hire. oh, it's actually happening.
Yeah, it's really, really starting to happen. It's a lot of fun, though. It's a lot of work, and I'm learning a lot as I go, but I'm just so excited. I can't wait for all you guys to come and check it out. Add it to your Vander crawl or whatever you guys call it, Vanderpump crawl or Vander whatever.
Yeah.
Call it Vander crawl. Just add it to the list of things to see when you come to LA, guys.
Exactly. Oh, my gosh. We're having so much fun doing it, though. The partners are amazing. It's going to be such a fun spot right there on Ventura Boulevard. I mean, who would have thought we'd have a bar right on Ventura Boulevard?
I know. Not to jump around, but I got to tell you, Brittany, I went to a concert last night.
Well, yes, we all have heard. So I was supposed to go with Jax, but I couldn't get out of work. So Jax had to go to the concert without me, which was the 50 Cent concert. It's been all over the media today. So Jax, tell what happened from your perspective.
Okay, so Brittany, I'm not a big concert goer. I love music, but I don't love it enough to go to a concert and listen to it. It's not my thing. Brittany loves it. Anyway, she went to was it Lil Wayne concert?
Well, hold on. Talk about what happened at 50 Cent first.
So I went to the 50 Cent concert with my good friend Will and Elaine. They invited me, and I was honored to go. I had a great time. I had a great time listening to Busta Rhymes. That was iconic for me because I grew up on Busta
I would have loved that part. I would have loved 50 Cent too, but
he played, I think, really just four or five really good songs. But the point of this whole story was, I was honored to be there, and I was grateful, and it was fun and all. But we got there at 7:00. Okay, the concert I thought started at 7. 50 Cent didn't go on until 10:30. 10:30. He played maybe 5 songs, got pissed off, threw the microphone at somebody, and walked off.
What pissed him off?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just
Has it not been on the social media yet? What made him mad?
I don't know. A fan, I think, made him mad.
Yeah,
or whatever.
but were they heckling him or something?
I don't know. I mean,
because normally, like on all these concerts recently, it's been like somebody from the studio or the audience or whatever has been throwing things at the artist, which is awful.
I saw it happen to Drake.
And BB Rexa. You know, she got like hit in the eye. But like for it to happen vice versa, like he actually threw the microphone into the crowd.
Yeah, he threw the microphone in the crowd. It was, we were in a suite, so we had a really, really good time. The concert kind of was almost secondary because all my friends were there and I was hanging out with Will and Elaine. I just had a great time being with them. But like the amount of issues they had, like every other, like I feel like every other minute there was sorry for the technical difficulties. I mean, we're at Staples Center in Hollywood, in Los Angeles, and all these things were going wrong.
It was at Staples Center, and there was technical difficulties.
It's actually called Crypto, but I will always call it Staples.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Crypto's out of business anyway, so I'm going back to calling it Staples. Anyway, so again, we get there at 7:00. So we left my house at probably 6 because it takes about an hour to get there. So we wanted to be there early. Like I said, I never go to concerts. I didn't know he was not going to go until 10:30. So we sat in the suite for like 4 hours, just having fun, drinking a little bit. But it was just kind of like, this is crazy. Like he didn't even go on until 10:30. Then he sang 4 songs. And he was done. Like for the people who paid all that money, because I think tickets were $500.
Oh, I'm sure they were a lot.
I know Will had something. He invited me, so we didn't have to pay. I don't know if he paid or not, but I felt bad for some of those fans that had spent all their hard-earned money, and they had to sit there for 4 hours listening to absolutely nothing. Until he got on.
I can't believe that. 'Cause me and Jax were like making jokes about it before. We were like, okay, we should bring signs and hold them up, being like, Fofty, Randall owes us money too, Fofty.
Yes,
like,
I know. Still haven't got
Fofty,
paid
help
back.
us get our money back. Like we were just making jokes like that, which would have been hilarious. We could have been like the Kourtney Kardashian with the big sign in the crowd, and it would have been like Fofty.
I didn't even think about that. I mean, we were in a suite. He would have never saw it.
Yeah, but that would have been hilarious.
I know.
Oh,
but anyway,
my goodness.
I don't think I'm ever going to go to a concert again. I think that kind of ruined it for me.
But you said Busta Rhymes was awesome.
It was
and I'm sure when 50 was actually performing, that was good too. It was just because it ended so short, it took so long.
I just think we were there for 4 hours before anybody went on. Everyone was sitting there twiddling our thumbs. Like, what are people doing? They're just sitting there talking to each other, just getting drunk on $30 drinks.
Yeah, like, woo, spending a lot of money. I know I had talked about on my podcast how excited I was like a couple months ago to go to the Lil Wayne concert.
Right.
And I never got to talk about my experience there because we had guests on after the concert. So I'm going to go back a little bit here because this 50 Cent thing just brings it all back up. I took my best friend Kara to the Lil Wayne concert with me. You guys know I was so excited. I love Lil Wayne. He also came on hours and hours late, had no openers, had nothing like that. They had a DJ for a little bit, and then the DJ turned off. I mean, people were like sleeping in their chairs and everything because it took so long for him to come out. He finally comes out. He does awesome. We're having the best time. We were like loving it, and then he brings on all the Young Money people and takes a break. So people go out and like get their drinks, they go to the bathroom, do stuff like that whenever he brings out the Young Money crew, who, in my opinion, could have been the openers so that we weren't sitting there for so many hours waiting for Lil Wayne to come on.
Right.
So while they're out there, you guys all saw this because it went all over social media and all over the news and everything. Lil Wayne comes out and he's like, he didn't like that there wasn't enough like support for the Young Money people after we had waited for like almost 3 to 4 hours, and after we sat there with no sound or anything, and Lil Wayne had only done like half his set, comes out and like drops the mic and leaves, and everybody starts walking out. Me and Kara at the bar, we could not believe it. The concert was over.
Oh
so it's kind of like the same thing that happened with 50. I mean, it's a little bit different, but like, people pay so much money to come to these shows, and then they stop the concerts early. Like, I feel so bad. I know that some people probably flew in, bought like tickets, and spent all that money, had to buy hotels and all that stuff. So I just feel so bad for that.
I do too. Like I said, that ruined concerts for me. I'm never going to again. I didn't want to go anyway, but the only reason I went is because I wanted to hang out with Will and Elaine. But I'm not a concert guy, and that just proves my point that I will just listen to it on the radio. I do not need to go to a concert.
See, I still, even though Lil Wayne was so far, like it was a bummer for sure, but I still love Lil Wayne. I still love 50 Cent. I'm still a big fan. Me and Kara had a great time anyway, but it is so annoying, and I do feel for the people that like flew in from out of town.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be, I cannot imagine how they're feeling.
I mean, I go to a Dave Matthews concert. I had a good time with Dave Matthews, but that was also when I was in high school. But
I've been to a bunch of concerts that were so much fun. You know?
Yeah, I'm just not into it.
I just don't get this like quitting early and stuff.
I don't understand that. Like how do their agents and like don't they get dropped? Like, how does
think of how expensive the venues are, especially like at Staples Center or Crypto Center or whatever it's called. Like, that's got to be expensive to rent out.
It was sold out. Like, there was not an empty seat.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just don't understand. People have the patience just to sit there for 4 hours doing nothing.
And can you imagine,
nothing.
like, the lines at the bar were probably so long.
My God.
Like,
for
you guys had a suite, so you had like a different.
But I mean, I did walk around the concourse, and I saw people buying the $30 beers and everything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you spent all this money basically just to sit in a chair and drink beer. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy or whatever, but I'll never be going to a concert again.
Oh my goodness. Well, speaking of all of this stuff that's been happening, going back to reality TV a bit, because that's why we're here when reality hits, of course. I have a question from the fan, and it says, because I thought this was interesting, and I'm sure a lot of people would love to hear about this. What is it like to actually do like confessionals and interviews on a TV show?
I'm going to be honest.
And that question came from Haley Bard 352, by the way. How do the confessionals work?
You know,
if you're talking about Vanderpump Rules,
right,
I can go into that, because it's not like on some other reality TV shows, like how you see, like maybe like 90 Day Fiancé, for instance, because we love that show, or even Love Island.
Right.
Like, they get to talk right away.
Yeah.
Like, they can go into a room and like talk right away and like answer questions while it's still fresh on their mind.
Right.
We don't get to like really go into our interview space for like
weeks later.
So then you get ready and you get into an outfit, and then you spend like 3 or 4 hours sitting in the chair and answering questions. The producer will like ask you a question, and you'll answer it as best as you can. So it's just a little bit different to do it on like a reality show, like structured like Vanderpump Rules and
I wish
Housewives
they did
and
it
stuff.
more like was like Jersey Shore, where they actually had a confessional room so
that you could go into.
So something happened, for instance, say Brittany and I got in an argument, and then I would go straight into the room and talk about it. Because the reason I don't like the way they do it now is because I don't feel the same way as I did when this situation happened. For instance, if I got in an argument with Kristen, okay, like first episode, and I'm not doing the interview for about 3 or 4 weeks after that episode.
You're not mad at Kristen anymore.
I'm not mad at her anymore, so it's hard to get back into that mind frame of being upset, because we squash things. Yeah. And usually in reality TV, things are squashed fairly quickly.
Yes, of course, because you actually have to face things.
Yeah,
like in real life, if you're mad at somebody, you can go like a couple of days without talking to somebody, but whenever you're on reality TV, like, you have to turn around like the next day and like talk to them on camera and face your problems.
Yeah, that's one of the hard, tough things.
Yeah.
Like, you have to talk about everything. But like I said, I wish they would do it a little different on Bravo, where they would have the interviews right after the situation happened. I mean, that's probably the only thing I would change, just because you're not, like I said, I just repeated myself, but you're not in the moment. You're not like, if you're upset or you're emotional, you're crying, you want to see that real emotion, and it's just tough to do 4 weeks later.
But the producers are really good at getting you back in that headspace.
Yeah, they are.
And
They're really good at
and
it.
also we're good at our job. We know how to like do it and like talk about it and like try to put ourselves back to where you were whenever you actually had those moments.
And
But that's what it's like. You get an outfit, you pick it out, you sit in the chair for like 4 hours. Producer asks you questions and you respond.
Oh, it's an all-day thing.
It's a whole thing.
You're there for 4 to 6 hours.
And it can be super emotional because if you are past something, you have to get back in that headspace to where you're still upset about it, and that could be rough as well. But
or if you
it's part of what makes reality TV such gold.
Or if you've done something stupid and you're like
embarrassed,
now you look bad at you're like, God, I was wrong, but you, Dad. So, or
Chris
if you're
wanted to say hi.
Or if you do an embarrassing thing, Brett, if you do something embarrassing or you do something stupid or whatever, and you're like, I was wrong in the moment, but you have to go back and act like you were right. That sucks. That sucks too, and that happened to me a lot.
Yeah, Jax, you're probably like, oh gosh, why did I do that? But hey, I was correct at that moment.
Yeah, that part's tough.
Yeah, but that was a good question that I really wanted to talk about because it's so different on every kind of reality show that you watch to. And Love Island definitely asked them right away, and I thought that that's really fun.
And our confessionals are also in a studio.
Yeah,
they're in an off location where we have to go and we put different wardrobes on, and it's a set. So.
Yeah. Here's a random question from a fan, but I thought it was funny, so I thought we should address it. This is from Mimi TV 713. I saw Larry Birkhead at the wedding. What's the relationship there? This is such a random, has nothing to do with what we're talking about on the podcast today. But if you watched our wedding, Larry Birkhead was at our wedding, and the story is behind that. We went to the Derby, and we met Larry Birkhead and Danny at the Derby, and we ended up hitting it off. Multiple years. We ended up hitting it off with him. We ended up riding in like the limos and going to after parties together. Yeah. And we stayed in contact with him and stayed friends with him. And it was just so cool because I've always been such a huge Anna Nicole Smith fan. Like, she's just so gorgeous. Like, I think about that guest ad and how like gorgeous she is. She's such an icon to me, and so funny. Like, remember her reality show is such a train wreck, but also so funny.
It was so hilarious. Yeah. And Larry's such a great guy.
And Larry is so nice. And that's why he was at our wedding, because we met at the Kentucky Derby.
We were hoping to match him up with somebody. I was trying to find one of my single ladies to date him.
But I just thought that was such a funny question, and it was something I wanted to address because we did really love him, and we still are in contact with him. But that's how it happened. It all started at the Derby, Kentucky Derby.
Good question.
Yeah. One thing, we're going to get into a little bit of parenting here. This is a little bit hard for us to talk about because we know that we don't want people like judging our family or anything like that. But I do want to talk about Cruz because we've had so many comments and so many questions like, is Cruz talking yet? And things like that. So Cruz does talk. He does say like mama, dada. He does have his words. He says doggy. He says ducky. He says outside. He says his certain words that he has. But he has a bit of a speech delay. So we have started him in speech therapy, and he is doing absolutely amazing. He meets with his teacher, who we love so much, twice a week. We are definitely starting the early intervention, and you know what? He is just perfect. No matter what struggles or anything that comes along, we will face them as a family, and he's just the best thing that's ever happened to us. He is so smart. He is absolutely brilliant. He can do anything he wants. He's just not very vocal yet. He's only 2 years and 3 months old. People need to give us a little bit of space. Like, let him be little. He is a little kid.
Plus, it's good to talk about because other parents may be dealing with this as well. So
I've talked to so many people who have said, my nephew didn't start talking until he was 4, or my niece didn't start talking until she was 3, or the more that I've talked about this, the more I've realized that other parents have to deal with this and that we shouldn't be embarrassed about this. This is something that we are going through, and it's something that we are handling. And Cruz is in speech therapy, and we're doing early intervention. We're starting him in OT as well. We're starting him in classes. We take him to the trampoline park. We take him to the zoo, the aquarium. I mean, we're taking him everywhere.
He's got a great life.
He's got a great life, but we are definitely working on this. And, I'm sure there's other people who struggle with this, and a lot of mom guilt goes into this. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I get down on myself sometimes, like thinking I'm not doing something right. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm reading books to him every day. I'm doing his flashcards every day. We're playing all of his toys with him. He has an amazing, amazing time. He's the best thing that could ever ever happened to us. And I know that so many other families and parents probably feel the same thing. Like, what am I doing wrong that's making things difficult for him to learn or start speaking at the same rate as some of his best friends? But you know what? We are working on it. And I just wanted to put that out there because I've seen so many questions asking about it. And sometimes it hurts my feelings. I'm not going to lie. Whenever people are asking things about my son, it's kind of like not really your business. But I know at the same time, we do put our life out there and we are very honest and open about this stuff. So I wanted to like let other parents know who might be going through the same thing that we are, that speech therapy is helping, and we are so excited for his progress. Look, you can hear him in the background. Yeah.
He's getting ready for his class. He actually has class today with Miss Dory.
Yes. So it's been a fun experience watching him grow. There will be hardships sometimes, but you know, we're loving every single moment. Right, Daddy?
Yep, we're having a great time. And like I said, we love this little guy so much. And he's just such an amazing, smart, intelligent kid. I mean, he does everything. He does everything else.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But, so it's okay.
He's in the 90th percentile of height. He's so tall. He looks like he's 3 or 4. So I think that's another reason why everybody's like, is he not talking? But,
his hands and his feet are gigantic.
But, you know, he is so special, so amazing. Whatever comes our way, we will handle it. And, you know, we're just so happy about all that. But definitely, if you guys are ever experiencing something like that, definitely look into speech therapy because we've already seen so much of a difference. And he's only like a couple weeks in. So just a little bit of parenting one-on-one with Jax and Brittany. Right, babe?
Yeah. And if anybody ever has anything any comments or about that or, hey, what they're doing and they want to share anything,
yeah,
please
give
let
us some
know.
advice too.
You can always obviously email Brittany, and let us know. We would love to hear from you and say, hey, maybe we can get some pointers from you guys, or you can share pointers or whatever, because we're all in this together. We all want to help each other out.
Of course. We're learning as we go, just like every other first-time parent in the world. And another thing that our speech therapist taught us about was fish oil. So we started him on fish oil, and maybe some other parents out there might want to look into that as well, because we've heard nothing but amazing things about fish oil. All right, one more question. This is from Producer Steve. We miss you, Producer Steve. We can't wait to see you soon. Is it refreshing when people don't know who you are, Jax?
Yeah. I mean, that's.
Oh no, Jax wants to be known by everybody. Don't lie, honey.
I am not that vain.
Yes, you are.
No, I love all my fans. I love everybody, and there's a few people that don't know who I am.
Is it refreshing? I mean, sometimes it's
What kind of question is this, Producer Steve? My God.
Sometimes it would be nice, though, to go out and, like, not have to, like, you know, you can just, like, be yourself and not have to worry about what people are thinking.
You know, I don't mind. Most of the time, I don't mind. Like I said, we signed up for this.
Yeah, we're so grateful and so lucky.
I'm very grateful for everything.
Yeah.
I take pictures with everybody. I say hi to everybody. I comment back on Instagram to everybody. I always answer questions. I'm just very blessed to live this life that I live, and it's all because of you guys. I just truly, truly appreciate it. So I don't understand people that get into this world and then they don't like people or they don't want to be bothered. Like, why are you in the entertainment world if you don't want to be bothered? I will always go out of my way for anybody, any of my fans.
Same with me.
Regardless if they know me or not. That's the kind of person I am, believe it or not. So, yeah, I love what we do, and I love meeting with the fans. But for the select few who don't know me, you better get to know me.
That's right. We love it. We have so much fun things coming up. We cannot wait to talk about with you guys. Of course, we can't talk about everything just yet, but just know things are happening and things are coming, and we are so excited to share everything with you.
Keep those questions coming.
Yeah.
We love answering it. Even if the questions about the old episodes or whatever.
Yeah.
We finally get to talk about all the old stuff, and I can try to justify some of my actions. We can clear some things up.
We want to do a recap of an old episode soon of Vanderpump Rules. So if you guys have your favorite episode, let me know. We want to do like a little voting thing so that you guys can pick your favorite episode for us to recap.
Yeah, I would love to hear from you guys about that. Also, I want to recap our wedding. We had so many questions about our wedding, about the castle, about being in Kentucky, about our family, about our friends, who was invited, who wasn't invited, our pastor, Yes, we had the
Lance Bass in sync.
Yeah, definitely ask us questions. Like I said, we're going to recap a few episodes, I think. And, our fan
just
favorites.
Ask anything you want. We're going to figure out which episodes we're going to do, but we would love to hear from you, which one you would be most excited to hear about. We're going to have so many amazing guests coming on soon. We have so much coming up that we cannot wait to talk to you guys about. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Again, don't be a Reddit troll. Be better. Do better. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're having the best time on When Reality Hits
with Jax and Brittany.